Today's video is going to be a review and taste test of these protein bars from Mountain Ops. So let's get into it. Roll the intro. First off, let me start by telling you a little bit about Mountain Ops and how I came to find them in the first place. My husband has always kind of been an energy drink kind of guy, and he would always stick with Rockstars. Now, the issue with Rockstars is that they're already a pre-made drink and they have a set amount of caffeine. After getting married, we actually heard about Mountain Ops through Michael's dad. His dad uses caffeine a lot like my husband does, and they're both very tolerant to caffeine. It just helps with their overall mood and being a more pleasant person. With that said, we did really like the idea of Mountain Ops because their caffeine powder is powder. So you can make it at whatever strength you desire and however much caffeine you want. So my husband has been drinking the Mountain Ops and Ignite caffeine for probably 4 years now, maybe more. And I personally have been drinking them for about a year. And then they came out with the light line of caffeine, so it's Ignite Light, which personally is the one that I now use because it has less caffeine but the same amount of nootropics. I'm a real lightweight when it comes to caffeine. I have, I think, about 40 milligrams a day. I measure about 4 ounces of caffeine, the light caffeine, and 4 ounces of the hydrate. And that's my drink. But the caffeine I have to drink because I have a suspected CSF leak through my nose, which is why you guys always hear me sniffing and blowing my nose. I try to cut that out as much as possible, but sometimes it's just too many times to cut out. You guys would have a very choppy video to watch. But yeah, so I have a suspected CSF leak due to my health condition that affects the barrier between my head and my spine. CSF stands for cerebral spinal fluid. I need caffeine in order to regenerate that fluid that is leaking out of my face. Caffeine is an extremely important part of my day because if I don't have this caffeine, it will give me terribly bad headaches from the CSF being low. I can do more about that health condition in a future video or in a video on Dray of Sunshine, my sister channel, but for now I'll just leave you with that. Now, you might be wondering why these bars specifically. I don't do a whole ton of food reviews, and that's mostly because I have a lot of food allergies. So there's not a whole ton of foods I can review for you that are interesting. But because of these food allergies, it is nearly impossible for me to find protein bars and just fitness stuff in general that doesn't have wheat or soy. These are my two big bad boys that I have to avoid. Sometimes I can make exceptions to certain allergies, but yeah, wheat and soy do not mess around. They want nothing to do with me. Something that I didn't know until discovering these food allergies later in life, I just hated food and tried to avoid every occasion in which I had to eat it. But once figuring out these two big ones, wheat and soy are definitely the most prevalent ingredients in pretty much everything. They are very sneaky. You want a protein bar? Sorry, soy. Want some ice cream? Sorry, soy. Want to season your meat? Sorry. There's probably soy and wheat in that one too. These two ingredients, although being just two of them, really limit the amount of food that I have to choose from and just my food options in general. Especially protein and protein powders, because protein powders use soy as an emulsifier, which I'm not really quite certain what an emulsifier is, but something I understand is that an emulsifier is very much needed in powdered products. So, sucks for me. These have 11 added sugars and 18 sugars total, which for a protein bar is actually pretty good. But these are the things that made these bars immediately stand out. So when my husband and I were making an order to refresh our Ignite and caffeine backlog, we decided to order the 3 boxes of flavors that they have available right now. I'll definitely share the link to these bars down in the description. Not affiliated, no commission. This is just a link to the website where I get them myself. So if you guys want to try them, look at the ingredients yourself and see if it's a good fit for you. I know how frustrating it can be to just maneuver this world with food allergies because especially when you're from Idaho or somewhere small, they don't really even know what soy is, unfortunately. So you tell them that you can't have wheat or soy, and they bring gluten-free soy sauce. So maybe you can find some protein supplements and just convenient food for you that doesn't make you feel like absolute trash. So with that said, let's start with the taste test. So the 3 flavors are Blueberry Crisp, Oatmeal Chocolate Chip Cookie, and Peanut Butter Crunch. If you'd like to make predictions of which order they will come in, go down to the comments, pause this video, and guess. No cheating. Oh no. Pause now and make your prediction. Alright, so now that you've made your prediction of the rankings that might happen in the future, let's go ahead and open these bars up and decide what the rankings should be. Let's open the Blueberry Crisp first. So this is what the bar looks like outside of the package. We're gonna give it a couple bites. It's got like some actual blueberry chunks inside of it. It's very yummy looking. Even though like it's a protein bar, it's definitely got dates, it's definitely got oats, like it's definitely a healthy snack. So bear that in mind. Now they do take a while to chew. Not that they're chewy, but just because there's a lot to them. One thing I need to make very clear, this does not have any aftertaste of grossness. If you've had a protein bar before, you know what I'm talking about. It has little like Rice Krispies inside of the bar, and that's one thing that I absolutely love. One of my favorite chocolate bars before I couldn't have soy or like anything fun was the Crunch Bar. It just had this nice silky, soft, delicious chocolate with the Rice Krispies inside of it, so you get a little crunch with it. That type of thing is like my jam. I could die for that right now. We're gonna go in for a second bite. That's pretty darn good. So each of these bars, I'm gonna have 3 different ratings. A is taste, B is texture, and 3 is the flavor combo. Do I like the combination, and do I just like the idea of the flavor in general? A, taste for the Blueberry Crisp, I'd say an 8. It could be better, but I'm not really quite sure how. I have not had a protein bar that good before. Like, this is not sponsored either, I swear. This is genuine, like, me just eating food I'm able to have. Maybe it's because my morals have been lowered because I have food allergies. I don't know. Like, I can only speak for my own opinions. And to me, this is an 8. B is texture. I love those little Rice Krispies inside of it. It adds a great texture. There's a nice combination. It's not just a weird gooey, goopy sensation inside of your mouth. For texture, I'm gonna give it an 8 too. Now for flavor combo, I love anything blueberry, and I love anything that's like pie or cobbler or, I don't know, cake, like anything like that. I think probably because I can't have that on a regular basis. Flavor combo, I'm gonna go a 10 out of 10 with that. Next one, we'll do the peanut butter crunch. All right, here we go. Peanut butter crunch. Now things can change from the first and second bite. Personally though, the first bite, I do get a little bit of that protein bitterness in the beginning. 1 out of 10, 1 being like you don't taste it at all, 10 being like it's so bitter I can't eat it. I'd say probably like a 2. Because it's got like little chunks of peanuts in it too, you get like the nice full flavor of the peanut, so it kind of helps to cut through that a little bit, and it helps that it's barely there to begin with. So overall, still one of the best protein bars I've eaten. Let's give it a second bite before we start giving it numbers. That second bite was much better. I might have gotten like a chunk of like the powder or like the protein in my first bite, because that second bite was much better. It was kind of just like eating a crunchy peanut butter like toast. I'm glad we did that second bite because that did change some things in my mind. So for taste, this one I think I would rank 6 or 7 out of 10. There's nothing wowing about this. Pretty much everything protein is peanut butter something, because peanuts are high in protein. Nuts are high in protein. There's nothing extraordinary about how it tastes, except for the fact that it's protein and it's not disgusting. So I'm trying not to be insulting to protein bars in general, but like, you know what you're getting into when you're buying a protein bar. Let's just say it that way. It's not as good as the blueberry crisp, but that's also because blueberry's more my jam. The texture's really nice. It's like a chunky peanut butter, but kind of like a protein ball. You know, like if you've ever made like peanut butter balls. It's a lot like that. I think maybe the first bite was maybe a little bit of an oddity. Maybe I got like a chunk of powder in my bite, but that second bite was much better. We're gonna give texture a 7. All right, now the last one is flavor combo. Peanut butter crunch, nothing extraordinary about it. I'm gonna give the flavor combo like a 5 or 6. I like that they made it peanut butter crunch, not just peanut butter. So I'm gonna say a 6 because it's a little above average in that aspect, but peanut butter flavor is pretty average. So let's give it a 6. Now our last bar we have to try is the oatmeal chocolate chip. I'm really excited for this one. I think I'm gonna like it. It might give Blueberry Crisp a run for its money. We'll have to see. All right, here is the oatmeal chocolate chip. So I read the back too because these chocolate chips taste really good. I was trying to figure out if they were milk chocolate or if they were dark chocolate because they taste a little dark. But the thing is that they're unsweetened chocolate chips. So they have a little bit of like that natural cacao flavor. Okay, that's really good. That's definitely giving me some thoughts about that Blueberry Crisp. I don't know. At this point, I don't know which one I like more. You know, I'm willing to put out the disclaimer that it's been a long time since I've had a chocolate chip cookie, but that's pretty freaking close from what I remember. That's really good. I highly recommend this one. I don't know if it's gonna outrank the Blueberry Crisp, but it's like freaking close. It's up there. So between all three of them, these are definitely top 2. Whichever one is above the other, I'm not quite sure yet. So let's get to its individual scores and we'll see which one ends up panning out more. All right, so for taste, this one's pretty freaking good. Like honestly, taste, I'm gonna say probably 9. And we are talking protein bar like scale, okay? Don't get crazy. But I mean, honestly, this isn't chocolate chip texture. But if I closed my eyes and I forgot what a chocolate chip felt like and I just tasted this, I might not be able to tell the difference. It's definitely denser. It's wetter and denser than like a cookie, obviously, but the flavor's there. I think we're gonna have to go with a 9, like at least. I'm tempted to go to a 10, but I don't want to get too crazy here. Let's go with 9. Now texture. I really like the chocolate chip sizes. I wish that they maybe went a little bit bigger. And personally, if you're gonna call something chocolate chip, like make it chocolate chip. You know, like I want a generous amount of chocolate chips in whatever you're calling a chocolate chip. Okay? But with that said, I really like the texture. It's not overly mushy. It's got a good firm texture without being overly chewy like dates are. But I say texture's like an 8. Because it's not a chocolate chip cookie texture, but it is a protein bar made out of dates. So we have to adjust our expectations a little bit. Now last one is flavor combo. Honestly, oatmeal chocolate chip, you can hardly go wrong with that. It is a solid flavor. It is a fantastic dessert for a reason. Oatmeal chocolate chip gets a 10 out of 10 for flavor combo. It is just a winner all around. I'm gonna be full before the end of this video. I'm gonna finish this bar. So good. Now, of course, bear in mind, this is my personal ranking. These are my personal preferences. If any of these flavors sounded good enough for you to try, I highly recommend that you try them too and do your own ranking and find your own opinions on these flavors because they're like having dessert for breakfast, to be honest. Now get your predictions ready because here is the final ranking. Third place goes to the peanut butter crunch. Now this might not be a surprise to you considering my first reaction to it, but the second bite got better, but that second bite wasn't nearly as good as the other two. So second place is really tough. I think According to the numbers, second place goes to the Blueberry Crisp. Now, it kind of hurts my soul to do this because the Blueberry Crisp, I kind of came into it assuming that it'd be my favorite. But you know what? I really like that oatmeal chocolate chip. It's so good. That leaves us, of course, with the winner. The first place prize goes to the oatmeal chocolate chip. Very well earned. I think this is a very hard thing to do, is to make a protein bar, edible, for one, and two, like, actively good. Very good. Surprisingly good. And I highly recommend that you try it yourself. I would love to know what your personal rankings would be, what you would guess your own rankings to be. Would you put Blueberry Crisp in the first place? I'd love to know. But thank you so much for joining us today. I plan to do a full series of Mountain Ops because, we kind of have become Mountain Ops people. So we have the protein bars now, we have the immunity drinks, we have the hydrate drinks, we have a lot of the Ignite flavors, we have some of the Ignite Light. So we have a lot of stuff to cover. I have to supplement a lot of things in my drinks because, I'm usually lacking on something, be it vitamins, be it hydration. With that said, definitely subscribe if you want to see that series as it comes out. Now, also, I highly recommend after this video that you give our channel a peruse because this channel is a little bit of everything, honestly. I try to make a little bit of everything for everybody because I am a lady of many interests. Product reviews, I love crafting, I love crochet, I love digital art, I love gaming, I love a lot of things. So I highly recommend that you check out the rest of our channel and see what else we have that you might enjoy and that you might find somebody else that you know enjoys. If you want to help us by sharing our channel and helping us grow, that would help us immensely. But anyway, that's enough of me rambling. Thank you so much for joining me for today's taste test video. Let me know if you actually do try these yourself and give me your personal ranking list. I'd love to know the difference in people's tastes and if I'm crazy with the peanut butter crunch, if it does have any type of after flavor, or if it was just that first bite being a little bit of a weird one. I don't know. That is it for today. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.